Hello and welcome to The Clear Interview, an interactive personality profile program designed to engage personalities from all walks of life, where they open up on who they are and what they are doing to positively impact the world. My name is Idris Kasumu. We'll go on this quick break, and when we come back, you shall be meeting my guests. Don't go away. Welcome back, and glad to know you're still here with us. On the program today, I have with me the founder of Ripple Heights, Mr. Chiedu Uwaechia. It's an honor to have you here with me, sir.
Thanks to be here, Idris, and it's good to be on Clear TV, Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you so much, sir. I feel honored. Let's go straight to business.
Yes.
Please kindly introduce yourself. Yeah, we know your name is Chiedu Uwaechia, but for the purpose of our audience, they want to know who you are exactly. Kindly introduce yourself.
Okay, that's fine. I'll make that very short. So my name is Chiedu Uwaechia. I'm a data scientist by qualification, residing in the UK. Grew up in Lagos, Nigeria. At some point, I migrated to the UK, and been living in the UK ever since then. So on holidays at the moment, and still trying to do one or two things out in Lagos.
Thank you for that. How was growing up like for you? Tell us about your background, your school, family,
Okay.
and.
Okay, growing up was quite, I think I came from quite a middle class family, in the sense that my dad used to work for Mobil Nigeria, Mobil Oil Nigeria, so I think I would class that as a middle class kind of background, so I grew up in Ikeja, and basically growing up was quite fun. It was quite interactive in the sense that I had loads of dreams as a young man, as a young boy rather, and I'm kind of happy that some of these dreams have actually been actualized right now as a man, So, and growing up was good. I would say it was quite good. I would say it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. I went to quite some good schools. I went to Larade Nursery and Primary School. From Larade, I proceeded to Tuanshe Nursery and Primary School. Left Tuanshe and I went to Federal Government College, Maiduguri in Borno State. Yeah, and that was a trek. I used to cry every night in Maiduguri. It was my first time in northern Nigeria. Didn't really like it, and then I left Federal Government College, Maiduguri, and transferred to Federal Government College, Ogbomoso. So I finished up in Ogbomoso. And at the end of the day, Ogbomoso was practically also the same thing, really. So I didn't even understand why I left Maiduguri in the first place. So yeah, after then I went to uni. Then I left for the UK and got to the UK. Went at Oxford College, London. I bagged a postgraduate diploma in business management. Then I left Oxford College and I went to University of Northampton. University of Northampton, before I went to University of Northampton, I found myself in that IT landscape. So, and after working for a period of time in IT, I decided to bag a master's degree in IT. So I went to University of Northampton and studied masters in IT service management. Finished up at University of Northampton and got a job straight in London City, in the city of London, with an investment bank. Worked in an investment bank for a couple of years, gained some more experience in that financial world, in the tech space. After that, the landscape was getting more challenging by the day, and I knew I had to do another master's. Since I could not afford a doctorate, I decided to actually enroll in another master's, and my second master's actually, is in data science. So I actually went to Middlesex University, London, and bagged the second master's in data science. So at the moment, I'm a qualified data scientist, working still in IT, and still trying to help humanity.
At some point before you mentioned you had your second master's,
Yes.
I was going to say from being a dental sscientist to becoming a business administrator, because you study at Oxford, you study business management,
Business
rather.
management,
So I was
yeah.
going to query you that, but thank God you quickly you told you let us into the world of you went back to your dental science. Okay,
Absolutely.
so what was your dream growing up?
Well, I think I was always living in that bubble because I did like aeroplanes. So I felt I was going to be a pilot, but unfortunately, I think my dad didn't make that happen, So at the end of the day, I had to go to uni and all that, So, but irrespective, I think that was my main desire, that I preferred, or that I wanted because I had this connection with airplanes, and that didn't materialize, and no worries at all.
Maybe you could transfer that to any one of your kids.
Maybe my son, yeah, possibly my son. He might become a pilot soon. Who knows?
Okay, so what is Ripple Heights all about?
Good question.
The aims, the objective. What is Ripple Heights?
Good
People want to
question.
know.
So, okay, Ripple Heights is a charity that I put together about 6-7 years ago. It's fully registered in the United Kingdom, registered in Nigeria. Our landscape basically is the whole Africa. You can see that map of Africa on my t-shirt, So what we're trying to achieve with Ripple Heights, we've got like 3 different initiatives that we offer, and I've not seen any charity that actually can offer 3 initiatives in parallel, So our first initiative is called Water is Life. So Water is Life is our very first initiative, and that was the very first one we stood up really. So it's an initiative that is actually designed to provide potable drinking water for communities in Africa that lack clean drinking water. We've got like loads of communities that actually lack this clean drinking water. So that's the first initiative. The second one is called Go Agro initiative. Go Agro is centered around agric and trying to see how we can use agricultural practices to boost food production at the same time create employment. Yeah. The final one is called Slum to League. Slum to League, it's another initiative that we've kind of put together and it's still in its pilot stage, so we are still trying to flesh that out properly, but the objective of that is to see how we can actually get the youths off the streets using sporting initiatives and maybe some other kind of incentives really, so that's the aim for that one, so you can see that it's quite robust. Most charities will just do one thing, but we're doing 3 things, and I'll tell you where we are, with those 3 initiatives. Like the very first one, we have delivered, by the special grace of God also too, we've delivered 4 borehole projects across Nigeria. We've got 2 in Lagos State. We've got 1 in Benue State. We've also delivered another one in Abia State, Afo Uku community to be precise. So we've got that. We've got 4. We've got a long list, on our table. We need funding. We can't do this alone. So, and I would love that corporate bodies and corporate organizations can actually key into our vision, come support us, with any little thing at all, just to provide more potable drinking water to communities in Africa, not just Nigeria now, in Africa that actually lack this clean drinking water.
We're definitely going to actually come to how people can partner and how
Sure.
individuals and governments can partner. And I can testify to some of these communities that I think all the Uwaechia in Benue, Afoku in Abia State, and I think Araromi in Ibejuleki. I'm a living witness to all this, and people want to know of all the challenges in Nigeria and in Africa by extension, like Ripple Light is doing, not just in Nigeria alone. Why did Ripple Light prioritize providing water for communities?
That's a good question, Idris. And I would say, first and foremost, in West Africa, most especially, it's pretty hot, and people consume a lot of water, to go through the day, So if water, is not clean and it's not available for mankind, then we're going to run into a lot of problems, So, and that's the more reason why we chose water. you know, and that's why we came up with that Water is Life initiative, you know, just to be sure that we can get enough water to those outreach, you know, those rural areas, and be sure that they're well taken care of, because a lot of people in the city rely on pure water, bottled water. They might even have that money to even buy that, but the chaps in the village or in the rural areas don't, you know, even have that maybe financial capacity to even buy water, you know, or talk less of drilling a borehole, you know. So that's the more reason why we chose water. And we said that, yes, water has been a big problem for a long time. You know, our government has not made things better, because we have like some water ministries scattered across the state. I don't really know what they're doing, you know, but we've seen that gap, and we have decided to bridge that gap and make sure that we're quite known when it comes to water in Africa. Yeah.
And what inspired, you know, Ripple to give back? Because aside from the water project that you've mentioned other ones, the Go Agro and the Slum to Lead. So what inspired Ripple, you know, to always want to give back to the society, to the communities?
To be honest with you, Idris, I think for me, it was more of a calling. In 10 years back, I never thought I would, you know, even go into charity work. You know, I never thought I was going to go into it, you know. So it was more of a calling for me, I would say. And at the end of the day, I think I have a vision, you know, and I also have a mission. So for me, I think it was more of God's call. I won't say it was mine. You know, it was God's call to come and do my little own bits on planet Earth, you know, and eventually, well, do my bits. And when God says it's time, it's time. You know, so that's it.
So let's have an idea. How many states, you know, have Ripple covered in Nigeria, and how many states do you intend to actually touch?
We've covered about 3 states in Nigeria. So we've done 2 in Lagos, we've done 1 in Benue, and we've done 1 in Abia, you know, so that makes it 4 altogether. We've got another one coming up very soon, you know, and that's also going to be somewhere in Nsukka, you know, and we've got that coming up very soon. And we are actually partnering with a company called Kent Housing in the UK to get that off the ground. My team has actually been to Nsukka to visit the site and ascertain the need for potable drinking water in that community, in that school most especially. So God willing, fingers crossed, yeah, this year we'll get that out of the way also too.
In 2007 precisely was when Araromi community in Uwaechia, Lagos State to be precise, you know, benefited from your water project community. And one would wonder, why Lagos of all states, you know, despite the fact that the developments that people feel. So why Lagos State?
Well, okay, so I was born in Lagos State. Yeah, I was born in Ikeja, you know, so I know the terrain quite well, you know, and you know, for me, Lagos is more like home for me, you know, so I decided to actually start from home, which is Lagos for me. You know, I'm actually from Delta State, from Asaba, you know, but I've not even done anything in Asaba to start with. And they say charity begins at home, you know, but I decided to...
Home here could be Lagos in this context.
Eventually, I'll get Asaba done,
definitely,
but I'll take my time and sort that out. Yeah.
Why is there a need, you know, to alleviate the conditions of communities in Nigeria and in Africa? Why is it important?
I think that's quite a good question, Idris. I must say it is important because, you know, our government has really failed us, you know, and the basic amenities for humans are actually not readily available, you know, and it breaks my heart, you know, like DJ Khaled will say that they never believed in us. You get what I mean? So I would say, you know, for me, it really breaks my heart that the government has failed us. Generations upon generations have been deprived, you know, and apart from that, I would say that even if you are going to get on to that leadership platform, I think the basic amenities should be provided for people in the community so that they can live a better life. So I would suggest, I would advise that, we get it right come next month, and we actually vote. In fact, I've got my PVC also to actually vote the right candidate in come next month, so that we can move this country forward, or move Africa forward.
Yeah. Okay, so I was going to ask you that towards the end of this interview anyway, so you're not going to run away from my political question. So, but tell us more about the Ripple Light Agro project, because we understand recently you did some training and some. Tell us more about the Agro projects.
Interesting. That Go Agro project. It's a robust one. It's very big. The scale is even bigger than I thought. So we have our regional office for Ripple Heights is in Ibadan. And right there at Ibadan, we have about 7 people that work in that office. So we've been able to create employment for 7 people, to work Monday to Friday in that office in Ibadan. So, and these are very, very skilled professionals also too. So the lady that actually heads that office in Ibadan is she's called Nike Sanusi. So she heads the office in Ibadan. She's actually an animal scientist, so she gives us a lot of consultancy for free, in the sense that she's in that field. So we've got a farm in Oyo. It's about an 11-acre farmland in Oyo. So, and we've been opportuned to purchase some foreign breed cattle. So at the moment, we've got about 20, if I'm right, and more to come, because we've still got some others that are still pregnant, so we're trying to scale that up, in the sense that we have the farmers and herders clashes. We're trying to introduce ranching into the community. We've got the Fulani headsman trekking around the country, creating a lot of chaos also too. So I think we're trying to see how we can actually bridge that gap, by setting an example, whereby we actually show them how it's done, how we ranch a cattle. You don't need to actually graze cattle and take them roaming all around the country, because the local breed cattle, which is like the white Fulani that we've got, it doesn't secrete as much milk as the foreign breed cattle. So what we've kind of done here is that we have brought in those foreign breed cattle so that we can actually crossbreed them with our local breed cattle, and that might help them lactate more milk, so, and from a milk production side of things, that would help improve, the number of liters of milk we can get in a day. And like I said, it's pretty robust. There's a lot of things we're actually trying to do, at the farm. We have crossbreeding, we have milk production. We are also looking at how we can actually do some AI, artificial insemination, using the semen of foreign breed cattle to actually crossbreed the local ones. We've actually got an example of that on the farm also too. So that has already taken place, on a pilot scale. So there's a lot to looking at, trying to put a research lab together also right on the farm, and we're trying to use Clear TV, reach out to the wider audience out there to say that we need your support, in this journey. We're trying to leverage on Clear TV platform to send out that word to anyone that wants to support us with our Go Agro program, or anyone that has some very good ideas that we can tap from. We're willing to take that on board.
Thank you so much. We're actually on board for that partnership. Now, you and your team are actually presently working on a global landscape forum.
Okay. Yeah.
We want to know more about that. What's that all about? What's that all about?
Okay. GLFX is global. The meaning is actually Global Landscape Forum.
Yeah.
So we won a grant sometime last year, with a company in Germany called Robert Bosch stipends. Yeah, so we won that with them in collaboration with GLFX. So Robert Bosch actually provided the money, and GLFX are actually partners to Robert Bosch. They're quite big, you know, and we've been working with them since last year with regards to landscape issues and degradation of farmland and how we can bring some life back into the ecosystem, you know, and trying to make sure that, you know, we can educate our local farmers on bush burning and some other harmful agricultural practices that might damage the landscape. So that's the work we're actually doing with GLFX. You know, so we have a chapter called the Ibadan chapter, you know, and so anything that has to do with landscape in that region, we are the first point of contact for that, you know. So, and the team has done quite well. We've gone to schools, you know, we've gone to communities, we've engaged the farmers, you know, verbally, you know, we've also went to few secondary schools, you know, to actually train and educate them, you know, on this whole GLFX or landscape protection kind of activity. So, so we've done pretty well on that. You know, we've been able to implement the projects. You know, some monies were actually disbursed to us for that, and the monies have been wisely utilized, and we've been able to set the ball rolling on that. You know, so what we're looking at right now is that continuity plan, and how do we make sure that there's continuous service improvements, you know, on that whole landscape points. Yeah.
Now, talking about your team, because you've mentioned your team in almost all the projects, yeah, it's a teamwork. And what we have observed is that about 95, if not 99% of your team members are youth. You know, you seems to have this passion for youth empowerment.
Yeah.
Why this? Why?
The youth they are our future leaders, you know. So I mean, you know, if we cannot tackle it from the youth, then I don't see where we're going to get it right. You know, so that's why I lay a lot of emphasis on youth development, you know, and trying to wrap some kind of controls around the youths and trying to see how we can, you know, enable them, you know. But before you can even enable them, you have to enable the environment. The environment has to be enabled. So if the environment is not enabled, I don't see how, you know, we can actually enable the youths. So I think that's what the government should do also, is to create an enabling environment for the youth, so that it will be much easier to now enable the youths.
Now, talking about partnership or collaboration, are you open? Is Ripple Light open for collaboration of individuals, other NGOs, or even government agencies?
Yes, we are actually in some collaboration with the Lagos State government. You know, Lagos State government they gave us a long list. We've delivered 2 projects for Lagos State government.
Wow.
One in Iyagbe and one in Araromi. So we've done 2. We've got a long list of maybe about 10 communities that they have actually given to us. We have them on our roadmap, but unfortunately, we've kind of put a stop there because Lagos State government did not even give us any penny for those 2 that we delivered. You know, so we've kind of just pegged the remaining 8 till they come, you know, to actually till they can actually sponsor those remaining 8. Then we'll be happy to work with them. But the 2 we've done, we've delivered that solely. So other partnership, we have signed some documentations with Kent Housing, you know, with regards to them delivering a project in Nsukka. You know, Kent Housing is a company or organization based in the UK. So we have signed some agreements with them, and we're happy to work with them. We're also looking for more, you know, more organizations to key into our vision. You know, we're looking for more partners, you know, to key in. It doesn't have to be all about money, really. You know, you could actually come with some unique ideas, and those ideas will be well taken on board, you know. So we're open for sponsorship, partnership, you know, and individual ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How can those people actually reach you if you have any philanthropists out there who is willing to help us or collaborate or sponsor some project, and can that be individual project sponsor? For example, if for in memory of my late dad or my late mom or any member of family, I want to say, Ripple, can you help me do this?
Absolutely. Yes, we'll be happy to do that. Even if you're just an individual, we'll be happy to do that. And we're happy to work, with partners. In the sense that you could say to me, Idris, you could say to me that, okay, Chi, I'm going to give you, I want this done in my village, and I'm happy to come up with 70%, of the total cost for implementing that water project. And we can come up with the remaining 30%. So we're happy to split, we're happy to split that ratio into two, So if you want to actually implement or create or develop one of our water is life projects in your community, we'll be more than happy to assist. And the good thing about it also too, you could say to us that, please can you put my late dad's name on the stone, and we can actually engrave that on the stone, to say that, Idris has donated this borehole facility to his community in regards to, his late dad and his name on it and all that, So we don't even have to put our name on it per se. We can just maybe have a small little signage, very, very tiny signage on it that might not even be visible.
Because as Africans, sometimes we always want our names to be attached to project, but we need to know that if Ripple is open to that. Yeah. And so what do I do next if I'm willing to? What do I do? How do I get your contact? How do I get?
Okay, so that's another very good question. So we have a mailbox. The mailbox is info@rippleheights.org. If you send us a message, we'll get that and we'll get that processed through that mailbox. We also have some other social media handles like Instagram. So our handle on Instagram is @RippleHeights_Gap House. So I'll repeat that again. It's @RippleHeights_Gap House. That's our Instagram handle. You can add us on Instagram, and you could also send us a message on Instagram, and my social media analyst will pick that up and escalate it to where it needs to get to.
Okay, before we go to our final question, how can communities, access some of those projects? For example, if there's a community in Kaduna, for example, or Uwaechia, who actually need the water is life project, and maybe they don't have any sponsor, they don't have any. How can they access Ripple Lights to? Is there a process like that? Is there a means?
Yes, there's actually a means. The minute you get that the name of that community or whoever is in that community,
like the CDA, the people in charge of the community development association people.
Yeah, even if it's an individual, once you reach out to us, we'll pencil that in our database. We'll pencil the name of that community in our database, and then if we have the bandwidth, what we'll do is that we'll pay a visit to that community to ascertain the need of potable drinking water. Once that is ascertained, obviously we need to understand, or we need to know, the number of people that reside in that community, and from a scale of preference, we could say in Araromi we have 3,000 people, in Uwaechia we have 9,000 people. Then we can do some assessments, with that data. Then from there we can actually, prioritize and say this should come first before that, So that way we can now work with the community to get that delivered, even if they don't even have money. They can just flag that up to us, because we are fundraising here and there. We're looking for sponsors that could actually sponsor a borehole plants, for different communities. And the minute we can get that a sponsor that comes on board, we can now say, oh, this is high priority, this has to go first. Then we get that out of the way and nicely delivered.
Thank you so much, the founder of Ripple Lights Foundation. Thank you so much.
My pleasure meeting you.
And that's a wrap for now on the show. Thanks for joining us, and do stay tuned for more. My name is Idris Kasum once again. Till I come your way again next time. Bye for now.